Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, and yeah, we have another series completed and a couple that are finishing up tonight. So let's get right into it because I do want to touch on something very important, and it is very important. All right. So first game last night, as far as when it started, Binghamton Black Bears hosting the Watertown Wolves. Black Bears coming in with the 1 game to none lead, and they finished things off and kind of quickly. Really, this game was pretty much over by the end of the first period. Uh, doesn't mean that there was a lot that didn't happen in the second and third periods, but some of it we can talk about, and some of it I'll choose not to. All right. So yeah, Binghamton starting off the game. It's Connor McAnanama once again in goal. He played very well on Friday night, and so he got the start Saturday as well. Watertown choosing to go with Eloi Bouchard, who hadn't played in quite some time. So I was a little surprised that Coach Verbeek put Bouchard in, but nonetheless, there we go. Yeah, Connor Smith starts off the scoring at 4:30, uh, and so Binghamton's up pretty quick. 6:32. Watertown has the power play, but Dakota Bond scores on a shorthanded opportunity. A lot of these goals that Binghamton had last night, there was no defensive challenge by Watertown, and Binghamton had a lot of time to set up their plays in the offensive zone, or for the shooter to basically line up and choose a shot. Um, and that's really what ended up bringing Watertown down last night, unfortunately. Watertown did score a gritty goal by Ross Bartlett at 7:21. Unfortunately, paid the price on a cross check that didn't get called, um, but he did score. So Watertown was within one. But then it's Donald Olivieri scoring on the power play, 16:50. And that was the end of Bouchard's night. In comes Kozlowski. And unfortunately, a goaltender can only do so much. I mean, a goaltender can have an outstanding game, but in the end, the team in front of him still needs to provide a challenge to the opponent for the goaltender to be successful, and that just didn't happen. So late in the period, it's Connor Smith scoring again. That's at 18:44. It's 4-1 at the end of one, and his shots are pretty even, but again, many of those shots that Binghamton had were just unchallenged. Um, so yeah, pretty easy to get 4 goals in that kind of a scenario. Second period, we had a goal by Jesse Anderson. Uh, that was at 2:38. Tate Leeson ends up beating McAnanama 5-hole at 13:13. So it's 5-2, and that was as close as Watertown was going to get the rest of the night. 17:52. Gavin Yates scored. He had all day to shoot that puck. And there you go, 6-2. Just for good measure, Olivieri scores in the power play again in the third. At 3:21, and your final score is 7-2. This game, second and third period, quite ugly, and it was unfortunate to see. It really was. A lot of fisticuffs, a lot of yapping. A lot of misconducts given, all the 10-minute variety, no game misconducts, but still. So, anyway, Binghamton moves on to the second round where they await their opponent to be decided tonight. 43-28 on hand, good crowd. And so penalty minutes in the end, Watertown 74 minutes, Binghamton 49. Way too many. For the game, Bouchard, he takes a loss, saved 6 of 9 in 16 minutes and 50 seconds played. For the rest of the game, Kozlowski came in, saved 33 of 37. Meanwhile, Connor McAnanima went 29 for 31. Laveria with the 2 power play goals, Connor Smith with the 2 goals and an assist. And so there we go. Watertown's season is done. Binghamton moves on. Okay, so we go to the Continental Division for the game that ended up finishing last night. Port Huron and Carolina. And this game had a couple moments too. But anyway, surprised at the game, at least for me, I was surprised. Oscar Wahlgren gets the start for the Prowlers. New rookie. He joined the team very late in the year. And Coach Graham had obviously a lot of faith in him and put him in. And Wahlgren played very well. Unfortunately, Carolina has had a barrage of shots on him. And despite 49 saves, it wasn't enough. And a goaltender should never have to be in a game where 49 saves is not enough. But nonetheless. All right. So, first period, Prowlers take the lead early, and it's Connor Foley scoring at 7:40. And everybody's thinking, wow, could the Prowlers actually sweep this? And for a time, it looked like they might. But Carolina was getting the better of the opportunities offensively. And it was only a matter before they put one in the net. Sure enough, at 10:18, it's Jan Salak. And so he scores, ties things up. That's at the second period. I'm sorry. In the first period, I forgot to mention this. The aforementioned Salak got in some rough stuff with Alex Johnson in front of the crease and one punch KO. Alex Johnson was down for the count. So, that got the crowd riled up. So, anyway, that happened. In the second, just 18 seconds after Salak had scored, Port Huron took the lead back. First goal in the Fed for Chase McCardle. So congratulations to Chase on that. So yeah, he puts the Prowlers up 2-1. And then it's all Carolina from that point out. They just started vulcanizing Wahlgren. It's Josh Keplinger at 14:28 of the second. And then at 17:40, Jacob Schnapp would end up getting a juicy rebound in front. And so he puts it home. It is 3-2. And that was the game winner. Shots 19-6 in both the second and third period in favor of Carolina. So Port Huron just was not getting much ozone time. Carolina really clamped down defensively and made things very easy for Cody Karpinski in this game. In the third period, only goal was Keplinger scoring again at 1:29. And there you go. It's a 4-2 victory in favor of Carolina to tie things up in the series, outshooting Port Huron 53-22. Again, Wahlgren, 49 saves. You couldn't ask anything more of him, really. It was just a complete offensive domination by Carolina in this game. So, McCardle gets his first. Liam Freeborn assisted on both goals for the Prowlers, and Wahlgren saves 49-53 in 56:40 played. So, nice save percentage at least. Keplinger, 2 goals on the night. Jacob Schnapp with the game-winning goal, and Karpinski for the win, 20 saves and 22 opportunities. 28:50 on hand, so a mostly full annex. And the players really players and the fans all really got into it. So in the final game, Danbury taking on Motor City. Both teams have got to have been dog tired after the overtime game Friday night and then an 11.5-hour bus ride over to Motor City. But they did it. And surprisingly, I did not see really any effects of the players being tired or a drop off in energy or anything like this. Both teams came to play and played very well. But it is Danbury tying things up in the series with the 4-2 win. It's Colby Johnson night as he ended up with 2 goals. He ended up with the first, which was a 14-24 of the first. And so that gave Danbury a 1-0 lead at the end of one. Motor City out shooting Danbury in this game. So Danbury had made a lot of adjustments defensively. I know that Coach McCreary was unhappy with a few things from Friday night's games, so he made some adjustments and some tweaks, and Danbury carried out what he set out and played very well despite being outshot. Second period, it's TJ Sneath scoring 7:23, so it ties things up. But then Danbury gets back on top. It's Daniel McKittrick scoring at 12:25. So again, Danbury back in the lead. It's 2-1 at the end of two. And in the third, Colby Johnson ends up getting that next goal, and that was going to be the game winner. He's been quite the find for Danbury. Of course, signed late in the year, and he's played very, very well. And he plays with an edge too. Motor City ties things up at 6:35. Josh Colton on the power play. And so it's 3-2 for quite a while, but eventually at 17:09, it's Johnny Ruiz scoring shorthanded. I want to say, I didn't look at the stats, but I want to say that's Ruiz's 4th shorthanded goal of the year, regular season and playoffs. Either the 3rd or the 4th. So yeah, Ruiz can score in any situation. And so he puts the insurance marker up. And yeah, it's a 4-2 win for Danbury. Shots ending up being 36-30 in favor of Motor City, but were counted. Danbury on top. McCullum and Babin, both the goalies again in this game. Neither had to play quite to the level that they did on Friday night, but they still both played well. Babin saving 26 out of 30. McCullum saves 34 of 36. And yeah, there you go. So we go to today. I won't say tonight because it's kind of like late afternoon games. Danbury playing in Motor City for Game 3 at 5:05. That's a 5:05 start time. And then the other game, Port Huron playing Carolina. That's at 6 o'clock. So if you want to watch on YouTube, please do so. But speaking of YouTube, I do want to mention one other thing. The chat rooms in these YouTube feeds by the various teams are not there for people to square off against each other verbally and to get into insult fests, okay? It's to talk about the game. That is the purpose of the chats. A lot of people can say, oh, Gary, you're being a little fuddy-duddy. Maybe I am. But remember that this league is driven by social media, okay? They want a safe environment for all fans. All right. So obviously, if you're thrown into a situation where all that's happening is people insulting each other, that's not considered a safe environment. That's a toxic environment. All right. So remember, in the past, a couple of teams have elected to disable the chat because of this stuff going on. All right. So if you want to be able to enjoy that, use it the way it's intended, please. Please do not attack other people and hurl insults at each other and go on these long diatribes with each other of why the other person is so horrible and why, just don't do it. All right. Be grown-ups. Be good hockey fans. All right. Let's all enjoy a safe environment. Let's all enjoy the game because, in the end, it is just a game. Okay. If your favorite team does not win that night, it is not the end of your life. It is not the end of the world. And if your team wins, yeah, okay, great, nice, good feeling for you, but it's not going to define your life. All right. So please, please, I'm asking for the benefit of everyone, please behave. All right, that's enough. Hey, make sure to hit like and subscribe on these videos, and we will be back with you tomorrow. It's going to be from the road. I will be recapping the games, and there we go. Thank you so much for listening and watching. See you later.